Hey guys. So I've been wondering how much DPS actually comes from CP. And I decided to test it out. So the class I chose for this was Magicka Sorcerer for this testing. Because it's the class I've played the most and it's just the one I'm most comfortable with. Gear was same for all of these parses. So just Perfected Ceroria, you can see the traits here. Maelstrom Inferno Staff on the back bar, Maw of the Infernal Medusa, and... oh wait. Yeah, I just got confused there, never mind. So, Perfected Ceroria, Maelstrom Perfected Inferno on the back bar, Maw of the Infernal Medusa, and that's it. Everything gold, everything in the correct and best in slot traits for all of these parses. The only thing I changed was CP. Use regular parse food, Ghastly Eyeball with Essence of Spell Power Potions. So your classic, just standard setup for parsing. And these are the results I got. So, first of all, I set my CP to whatever a CP 160 player would have available. So you can see I only have like 7 points in Elemental Expert, 10 in Spell Erosion, 13 Healthborn, and so on, and only 43 in Arcanist, because that's how much a CP 160 player would have available, so I did take into account the lack of Magicka Recovery a CP 160 player would have as well. Yeah, and so I did a few parses with each setup. If I wasn't too happy with the parse I did, I would redo it. So like if I made too many mistakes or if there was some lag or something like that, do keep in mind that I am doing this on the PTS, so my ping is not as good as it would be with on live server. So I had around 200 ping with these parses and around 170 200 desync. So just do keep that in mind, that the actual live parses will probably be a little bit better. So yeah, I did at least like 2 or 3 solid parses where I was happy with how well I parsed. So I got 69k with CP 160 in one parse and 70k in another parse. So kind of pause if you'd like to take a bit better look at the details here, my buff up times and whatnot, but it is not that relevant. It's mostly the crits. I got kind of unlucky with crits here, Crystal Fragments being the most significant damage source probably, as well as light attacks, only getting 57 on Crystal Fragments, but probably not a huge deal there. So yeah, these two are CP 160 parses, 69k and 70k. Then we have these 3 parses, all at around 75k. These were at CP 300. So 75, 75, 76. Take a look at these. Still same gear, still same everything. Now, next up, we did a parse at CP 600, where I got around 84k, 85k in these parses. Let me take a look at the CP as well. So yeah, I forgot to show the previous CP. So this is the CP 600 setup. This will be the CP 300 setup. And then finally I did some CP 810, so max CP parses. I get around 90k here. This 92 doesn't really count because I was using Blood for Blood there, which is not realistically usable in actual trials since the Stonethorn patch. But yeah, at around 90k here. This would be the setup I would be using. I wasn't using Exploiter passive because once again it's not very realistic. I believe the dummy bar still has 100% off balance on it, but it wasn't actually... It's not actually realistic because the maximum off balance uptime you can get is, I believe, around 34%, due to the fact that after applying off balance the enemy will have off balance immunity. So I was, maybe if you try to cheese the parse dummy a little bit more you could get the better parse, but yeah, I dropped the Exploiter passive, so I just went for more points into everything else here. And yeah, that's about how the parses went. I did some calculation afterwards, so let's take a look. Yep, I'm going to throw that in here, so it's easier to read. Yeah, so the DPS increase from CP 160 to 300 is around 8.5%, which is over 140 CP, and that turns out to be around 0.6% DPS for every 10 CPU spent for the first 140 CP. Then the next kind of milestone, which is from 300 to 600, will give you about around 11.8% DPS increase, and the final 210 CP will give you around 5.9. So this, turns out to be around 0.4 over 10 CP from CP 300 to 600, and then the final 210 CP will give you 0.3% DPS increase. So overall, going from CP 160 to CP 810, you can expect around 28.5% DPS increase. This of course will change depending on the race, depending on the class you play, slightly. I just did my testing on Max Orc, High Elf, but these are about the expected values you could come around. And if you're interested to see how much DPS increase actually comes from things like getting perfected versus non-perfected gear, as those are quite difficult to come by, and also things like golding out gear versus using purple, because you will need to spend quite a lot of gold to get gold gear or legendary gear. There will be some links in the description to other people who have done the testing. I believe the Asian God was the person who did the testing on that, and there should be some information on his YouTube channel. So yeah, thank you all for watching.